Alright guys, welcome back. Today is January 2nd and I'm going to do another overview of thoughts and things for the beginning of the new year and some news and stuff that I thought was important and hopefully helpful to you. So let's jump right in. So, right now we have a market cap of 688 billion flipping dollars. Just going back and looking at this here a little bit closer, comparing it to our recent past. We have here's our high here at 688, and our last high was approximately 644-ish, 648 I think I saw there. So we are at an all-time high. Obviously Bitcoin is not at an all-time high, but you can see here, if we just if we make this 1 day, and we make this 1 day, so this is the total market cap. With out Bitcoin in it. I think it's interesting how there was a very big dip right here, and Bitcoin was just holding steady. And I think, or the total market cap was steady, which it was just simply suggesting that Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin goes up right there. Basically, it's suggesting that people were at this time right here dumping alts for Bitcoin, and I think that's interesting, and I think that's something to consider going forward. Bitcoin has, in a sense, been boring for people, I think, and it's encouraged them to find, their dopamine high somewhere else and look to alts and things for that. It'll be interesting to see if Bitcoin does have a bullish run here, what's going to happen to alts. But anyway, it's good news. It's awesome to see us break the all-time market cap high again. Speaking of Bitcoin and altcoin, this Bitcoin dominance versus the altcoins here. I'm going to move myself a little bit, but you can see that, Bitcoin has been incredibly dominant in the crypto space, and as we go, like recently here, in July, it dipped way down, started building back, and it's dipped way down farther than ever very recently, relative in its market cap versus the market cap of all the other cryptos. Some people are thinking that's a bad thing. Jimmy Song, who's another guy, I really appreciate his take on things in general, has an article on why the Bitcoin dominance index is deceiving, and basically argues that some of the FUD associated with Bitcoin isn't warranted, and he goes into some of the reasonings for that. I'll post a link below. I think it might be worth reading. I'm gonna try to keep. I can make this video go so long, so we're gonna try to keep things to the point. So hopefully you can get quality information quickly. Another useful video that amount of information was from Ameer Rozic. I don't know how you say his last name, but he basically had a lot of things to say, and one of the things was how he thinks there's a chance that the futures are going to even out the price of Bitcoin, and he thinks that because the Bitcoin price volatility will be so much smoothed out, there's a chance that people will be bored with it, and instead of not getting 100 times returns, these amazing, almost literally unbelievable returns, and they're going to turn away from Bitcoin because they might not be getting it there and go to alts, which is an interesting theory. And he's also saying this year might be a very interesting year in general, where there's been so much speculation, and we're in far enough in time-wise now that people have their white papers have deadlines, and they're wanting to actually make something tangible in a sort of prove that they're going to become what they're saying, and that speculation will, the proof is going to have to happen this year in a lot of things, and maybe a reality check for a lot of coins when things do not come through as they were stated. Similarly, because we're having such incredibly strong mass adoption, some of the downsides of coins are going to come out, like with scalability issues. Like for example, it's quite common knowledge that Bitcoin is relatively expensive to transfer and time consuming sometimes, and Ethereum with the CryptoKitties had similar problems, and this year may only emphasize the need for scaling fixes and the problems that there are. And some of these are not easy fixes. Let's see what else. He talked about something I'm going to get into in a second. He says that he talked about how a lot of exchanges are a problem because people are trusting their funds to a company of sorts, and that poses problems. We've had Mt. Gox and a lot of problems with exchanges in the past, and the fact that we may have those in the future, and what that means for Bitcoin and crypto is probably not a good thing if an exchange gets hacked, and that could mean decentralized exchanges are something that we need just to avoid any middleman, but we have yet to really see, as far as I know, how well a decentralized exchange will work. I know there are some out there, and Ether Delta, for example, was hacked itself. Their domain was stolen. Anyway, he overall thinks that 2018 might be a reality check. I think if you aren't subscribed to him or you don't follow him on Twitter, he might be worth following, in my opinion. He isn't a trader. He tends to have a more realistic view. He's not afraid to, in my opinion, say things that aren't bullish. He's not trying to be fuddish either. He's just, I think, genuinely trying to give a realistic perspective, which is something that I want. I want to be able to see what really is, because it's going to help me make the best decisions. Anyway, I think he's a good resource. Another cool article. This is by 2-Bit Idiot on Medium here. He has a 95 crypto thesis for 2018, and just a lot of useful information here. He has coins that he thinks are worth holding and have potential this year, and basic strategies. And I'm not going to go through this because there's so many points but I would at least, I'm going to put this link in the description. It's another good resource to look at. And another thing that happened in the news, this really caught my eye more so because I'm a fan of Peter Thiel than anything, but it is in the news, and he has basically a founders fund that is invested in crypto. And it could be somewhat of a bullish thing if anytime you hear of billionaires having funds associated with crypto. But Peter Thiel himself is saying, people are saying he's been invested with founders fund in crypto for a while now. This isn't particularly bullish news. Peter Thiel saying he doesn't have that much yet invested. I don't know really what to take of it, but overall, I'm just going to say it is nice to see big money recognize Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, so let's before I go a little bit farther here, I just want to emphasize again, and I'm kind of telling this to myself, but I am a fan of hodling in general. I think if you just look back, here's the last, let's see how far, let's make it farther, about 2 years-ish. If you had just held, your returns would be insane. This is a log scale, so this is just represents percent increase over time. I mean, if you go back to early 2017, we were not even at $1,000. We ended the year at roughly 13,000. It's a 1,300% return on investment if someone just held. And I think the general incentive with so many stocks who go up and down more than they go up, the risks you're taking by trading, especially if you're new to the space, are so much higher than just holding. I would say, focus on the fundamentals, focus on the big picture macro stuff. Is this solving problems? Is there is a reason to believe more money and more interest is going to be in the future than there is now? You actually believe in it. Believing in it will help someone hold through these insane 40 or 30% drops, but those drops look like nothing in the long run. Anyway, I just got to emphasize that. That's something I tell almost anyone. One strategy a lot of people have is simply like taking your stuff, putting it on your key, getting your paper wallets or whatever, locking those away and not touching those funds. You can trade. I'm not against trading, period, but just trade a portion. Consider dollar cost averaging, buying in slowly in the dips. If you want to sell slowly over time. Average those out. Don't go all in or out. So many new people go all in, go all out, trade from Bitcoin to USD or Ethereum to USD or whatever it is that they have, and they're new. They don't know what they're doing, and it's like so many real traders like Vays, Parabolic, Trav, or whatever. There's just plenty of traders I could list. Actually, really, traders is in. They have technical analysis skills. They're pretty good at their technical analysis. Lots of experience and real knowledge, and they don't trade. They hold, or at least they trade very rarely. And I just, if the experts are holding, I think it doesn't mean we have to hold it, but I think it's something to also just take into account. So here we go. Carson Ford, who's another technical analysis person, he says, buy your bags and sit on them. Stop over trading and chasing pumps. I like that, and it relates obviously to what I was just saying. But another thing, basically just put this on here to remind me to say it. Some of the tax changes Trump helped push through, for better or worse, are flow through. I'm not a tax person, but flow through companies like S Corp, where essentially you might be able to get taxed less on your crypto earnings with looking into something like that. That's really all I'm going to say about it, because I'm not a tax attorney or a CPA or something like that, but it's something I'm looking into myself, seeing if it's worth it for me to form an S Corp or something like that, so that if I sell, my taxes are less. Just to say, in case you didn't know, more or less the way crypto are taxed now, or whenever you sell, it doesn't matter if you're selling your Ethereum for Litecoin or another crypto. Anytime you sell, it is a taxable event. A lot of people used to say that you had to trade it. Once you sold back into USD, that's when it became a taxable event. It seems fairly explicit now that is not the case. It's when you sell, period. So hopefully that makes sense. That is how I understand it. Let's get on it here. So, yeah, just want to say, when I'm looking at technical analysis and in general, I really want to be realistic, and I'm going to get to some fairly bullish charts here, and I think they're fun. It's fun to speculate and see the future. I do think knowing an extremely positive picture is something that needs to be considered to make good decisions as well. All right, we're back. So here is a chart that Vays drew. Here is his triangle. Hopefully this shows up well on your screen. But basically he was saying that if Bitcoin broke out of this triangle, depending on if it broke up or down, was going to be a sign of bullish or bearish. We appear to be trying to break out bullish right now. We'll see if we come back down. Obviously we poked out here on this wick, came back down, so it didn't close outside. We started this one, we've been outside, and we're coming back down. We're just barely outside right now. It's looking like we're going to break, but we'll see. So that's going to be interesting. It's something to watch for. I think this is pretty sweet just because it is an updated chart in real time. He's got his triangle drawn, and as time goes on, the wicks are going to, you'll be able to see the wicks outside of this. I'll post this below, just a link below to this so you can watch it if you'd like. And okay, here's where we get really bullish. Parabolic Trav, very bullish dude, but really I think not completely unrealistic, and that's why I'm saying it, because I think it's a perspective to consider. Right now he has these channels drawn, and he is seeing a reasonable target, as he literally states it, around 20,000 to around 27,000 it looks like, and then a greedy target of up to just under 35,000. That actually, as things go right now, is actually not extremely bullish, because you have this guy right here. He goes by Dave the Wave on YouTube. I've been watching him for a while. He's kind of rebutted Parabolic Trav's parabolic arguments, saying Dave the Wave essentially is saying that we are following a wave pattern, not a parabolic pattern, and he basically just says if you take time and you spread it out, so we're not looking at it, and Bitcoin has gone up so much in such a short time. If you just spread it out, it's actually more of a wave pattern, and it's not so exponential. Those are my interpretation and trying to rephrase what I've heard him say. But basically, he's projecting, as you can see here in this title, a spike to $100,000 in March. We shall see. Also, I mentioned, if I can find it here. Here we go. Carson. We go to Carson's Twitter. His pinned tweet is $100,000 in March 2018 timestamp. So anyway, so there's some bullish opinions out there, and we shall see. But anyway, that's really all I have for today. There's other things I could talk about, but I think these are the points I wanted to hit. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great year in crypto, and I will talk to you later.